Welcome to Muscles and Magic the Gathering. My name is Bobby Maximus. I am the Muscles. These cards, Magic the Gathering, something that's been a massive passion of mine for 31 years. You are here because you also love Magic the Gathering. You are here because you love the game of Commander, the greatest format in Magic the Gathering history. And you are here because you want to know the top 10 cards to include in your Dragon Commander deck. Now, it's no secret the Dragon is one of the most popular, if not the most popular commander in Magic the Gathering history. So let's take a look and let's dive into these 10 cards to take your Dragon deck to the next level. Now, the Dragon itself, it costs a massive amount of mana. It costs 9. You're going to pay 4 colorless, a white, a blue, a black, a red, and a green. It's got Eminence. As long as the Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This Eminence feature, it is enormous because it doesn't matter if you get Dragon on the field, it's still going to have a positive effect for you. It's got Flying, and whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards, then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So honestly, if you are able to get it on the battlefield, it can be an absolute game ender and nightmare for your opponent. So that is the Dragon. But that's not why we're here. I mean, yes, it is, but we are here to talk about the top 10 cards you need in your Dragon deck. And the first couple of cards I want to show you are these two right here. And they form actually a bonkers combo that can end the game. We've got Dragon Tempest. It costs 2 mana. A colorless and a red. And whenever a creature with flying enters a battlefield under your control, it gains haste until the end of turn. Whenever a dragon enters a battlefield under your control, it deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons you control. Enter the Ancient Gold Dragon. It costs 7 mana to bring up. It's a 7/10 flyer. But whenever Ancient Gold Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to the result. So if you're able to roll high, this is literally going to do near infinite damage to the entire table. I actually have no idea how much damage this does. I have no idea how to begin calculating it, if you will, because every single time one of those tokens comes into play, it's going to re-trigger Dragon Tempest. But basically, you roll high, we can just call it game. So get yourself a Dragon Tempest and get yourself an Ancient Gold Dragon. And these are actually cards. I'm not just saying this. These cards are actually featured in my Dragon deck. If you want a deck list for it, it's called House of the Dragon. It's on Moxfield. I will put a link to it in the show notes. But I'm not just picking out random cards. I am telling you combos that I actually play with. So Dragon Tempest, Ancient Gold Dragon, those are the first 2 cards. The next 2 cards, and this is a really sneaky one that I love using, but Reanimate and Entomb. Reanimate, put target cards from any graveyard into play under your control. Lose life equal to that creature's total casting cost. Entomb, search your library for a card and then put that card into your graveyard. Then shuffle your library. Entomb is going to act as a tutor in this case. You're going to use Entomb to get whatever beefy, bad, ginormous dragon you want from your library. You're going to put it in your graveyard. You're going to cast Reanimate, and you're basically going to put that dragon right out onto the battlefield. It's a really great early game way to cast one of these massive dragons, because one of the complaints I've always had about dragons is they have massive casting costs. This helps you cheat out a dragon early, and that honestly is usually with an Dragon deck going to be an absolute game ender. So get yourself a Reanimate and an Entomb. Next 3 up, we have the Cloudstone Curio, and this is the Lord of the Rings version, Elisar the Elfstone. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters a battlefield under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent type with it to its owner's hand. We have Dracogenesis. You may cast dragon spells without paying their mana costs. And we have Mirim Sentinel Worm. Now, I do also have a Mirim Sentinel Worm commander deck. It acts as my commander in another deck, but I am certainly going to do double duty here and put this in my Dragon deck. Why? Because with Mirim, or Myram, flying, and it's got Ward 2, and whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. So all you need with Elisar, Dracogenesis, and Mirim, or Myram, is a non-artifact dragon. And if you do that, you can cast that dragon without paying the mana cost. You're going to create a token. When that token enters the battlefield, you can get that original dragon back to your hand, and you can create unlimited tokens, if you will, unlimited dragons. So this combo right here, Cloudstone's Curio, Dracogenesis, and Myram Sentinel Worm. I think it actually is Myram. I say Miriam. But that combo right there, an absolute auto include in your Dragon deck. Those 3 cards are huge. And even this card just by itself, or this card to take advantage of some ETB triggers from some other dragons, these cards by themselves, even if you don't combo them, always come in handy and are super valuable. And then the final 3 cards, and they are cards that are going to work specifically with one of my favorite cards of all time, Aggravated Assault. You pay 5 mana, and you can untap all creatures you control. If it's a mana phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. So in plain English, without reading the card, you can generate extra attacks. As long as you can continually pay this mana, you can attack again and again and again. And a lot of times with dragons that are big, beefy flyers, that's going to be enough to win the game. So how are you going to trigger Aggravated Assault? Well, we can use the Ancient Copper Dragon. Flying, and whenever Ancient Copper Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. So as long as you're rolling a 5 or higher, you're going to always have enough mana to just not recast, but use Aggravated Assault and attack again and again and again. And here's the beauty of that. If you roll like a 15 right off the bat, you're basically going to have enough for 3 attacks. So even if you were to roll a 2 or a 3 on your next attack, you're still going to have enough treasure tokens in the bank to do a ton of damage. So Ancient Copper Dragon, Aggravated Assault, great combo. And another combo, by the way, one of the things that I use is I use Entomb and Reanimate with my Ancient Copper Dragon. Why? Because if I can get the Ancient Copper Dragon, and this is like has nothing to do with Aggravated Assault now, just another line of thinking for you. If I can get the Ancient Copper Dragon into my graveyard with Entomb, I can reanimate it and attack flying. I've got enough treasure tokens at that point to cast whatever I want, and I'm way ahead. That's one of my main plays. If I have Entomb and Reanimate, Ancient Copper Dragon is usually the first dragon that I go after. You can use Old Gnawbone. I don't have it featured here, but you can use Old Gnawbone with Aggravated Assault as well. That's also a mainstay in my Dragon deck. But the ultimate card to use with Aggravated Assault is the Savage Ventmaw. Flying, and whenever Savage Ventmaw attacks, you add 6 mana to your mana pool. Until end of turn, this mana doesn't empty from your mana pool as steps and phases end. You can use this. You can pay for this. You can get 1 extra. You have unlimited attacks, and you have unlimited red and green mana. So Savage Ventmaw, you have this with Aggravated Assault. You are set. And again, if you've got an Old Gnawbone, a Savage Ventmaw, and an Ancient Copper Dragon in your deck, you are going to do some real work. So there you have it. Let's do a quick recap. But 10 cards you absolutely need in your Dragon deck. We We have the Dragon Tempest, which of course combos with the Ancient Gold Dragon. We have Reanimate Entomb, which essentially combo with something like the Ancient Copper Dragon. That's the one I'm grabbing because I really, really want those treasure tokens. We have Dracogenesis. We have the Cloudstone Curio, and we have Myrub's Sentinel Warp or Miriam. We are going to make unlimited dragon tokens. And then, of course, we have the Aggravated Assault and Savage Ventmaw. But again, you can use Aggravated Assault with Old Gnawbone. You can use it with the Ancient Copper Dragon. Savage Ventmaw is the optimal, but that is an incredible way to get unlimited attacks. Those 10 cards in the Dragon deck, I mean, you pair those 10 cards with a bunch of mana ramp, a bunch of stuff to protect your board state, a little bit of removal. You are well on your way to having one of the best Dragon decks around. Again, if you want to see my Dragon deck, I will put a link to it in the show notes. There's also a video, a deck tech video I did on my Dragon deck. It's truly not a deck tech video, not deck tech like this. It's a display of a piece of my collection. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. And do me a favor, subscribe, smash that like button, and most importantly, because we all learn together, I want to make this channel the most positive, the most educational resource ever for Magic the Gathering. Please, please, please get in the comments and tell me about cards and combos you use in your Dragon deck. I would absolutely love to hear them.